come and sell petroleum product.
That we understand they are offloading the product.
They have finished offloading the product for a very long time now, and they keep telling people that in the next 1 hour they will start, next 2 hours they will start.
Scenes like this may be replicated across the country, especially in remote areas outside Abuja and Lagos. The DPR has, however, cautioned that it will continue its routine monitoring and defaulting marketers will be sanctioned. In Abuja, Hawa Salihu, Adama, NTA News.
Add to the reduction in the pump price of premium motor spirit, some guests on NTA's breakfast program, Good Morning Nigeria, advised relevant agencies to monitor the activities of marketers to ensure compliance. Timothy Yusuf has that report.
The reduction by 10 naira in the pump price of premium motor spirit, PMS, 0.31%. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, Jezani Alice Madueke, who made the announcement last night, said the change was in view of recent reduction in the global price of crude oil. Dr. Emeka Okengwu, a development economist, commended the federal government for the innovation, which he described as a leap in the nation's quest towards making life comfortable for Nigerians.
What's very key here is that taking the cue from what government has done, first and foremost, we should give kudos to the government. But you see, again, too, this is another very funny thing about our governance. Prices go high streets. Prices are reduced, nobody is carrying placard to thank government.
From our own end, we have ways of ensuring that people comply, especially the people who operate filling stations, that they comply.
Even at 7 naira, the government should be talking of over recovery. I don't think the government should have any subsidy at the new price.
Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
When I go to politics, the top matter of the moment. President Goodluck Jonathan has reiterated his administration's resolve in ensuring that every Nigerian earns a living. The president gave the assurance while flagging off his presidential campaign in Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the details.
In company of the Vice President, PDP National Chairman, Director General, PDP Campaign Organization, and other party bigwigs, President Goodluck Jonathan addressed the people of Sokoto State with a promise to fight poverty in the north if re-elected.
And I'll use this opportunity to advise all of us who are politicians across the country to begin to encourage our followers to do what is right. For us in PDP, our total commitment is to make sure that the smallest Nigerian child go to school.
President Goodluck Jonathan explained that the establishment of the Almajiri schools in the north is just a step towards eliminating illiteracy. He told people of the state that his government will continue to fight the poor farmers in the area.
And our people in the rural areas have something to do. And that's so much in agriculture and micro, small, and medium scale enterprises, which we have extensively discussed in other places.
The Vice President, the BDP National Chairman, and other party members lend their voices to the President's speech.
And it is very clear, we can see that Sokoto State is PDP, and we want to thank you for this decision.
I can assure you, Mr. President, that while I'm leaving office, Sokoto is once again going to have a PDP governor come 2015.
This coming 2015 election, all of you should make sure you vote for all PDP candidates and President Goodluck Jonathan as your president come 2015. The rally signals the commencement of PDP presidential campaign rally in the north. In Abuja, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
That was Ignatius Nkwo with the Sokoto presidential campaign flag of the PDP. Still at the seat of the caliphate, President Goodluck Jonathan has pledged again to ensure that every Nigerian child is educated. He stated this at the Sultan of Sokoto's palace. Jabi Ibrahim Dabori reports.
Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who enumerated some landmark achievements recorded by PDP government in Sokoto State and beyond on agriculture and education, told the Sultan that they were in Sokoto for PDP presidential campaign rally, as well as introducing PDP candidates vying for different elected positions to the people of the state. The president said the investment of the federal government in Gorenyo Dam and Shagari Ap Dam manifest government-clear drive in boosting agriculture. Mr. Goodluck Jonathan said his administration is working around the clock to ensure every Nigerian child got the basic education of Almajiri integrated system of learning in Sokoto State.
And my total commitment is to make sure that every Nigerian child has my own kind of experience. Not everybody, but every Nigerian child should be able to have a reasonable level of education that can make him or her live a better life.
PDP National Chairman Ahmad Adamawa acknowledged the Sultan's effort of promotion national interest. Abakar Saad thanked Mr. President for the visit and called on politicians to avoid linking Nigerian politics with and ethnic lines, as it will not augur well for Nigeria.
But we want to hear from our political leaders how you intend to resolve the insecurity issues. We want to hear from our leaders how do you intend to tackle the unemployment. We want to hear from our leaders how do you intend to tackle the rot in education. I think these are issues that should face the various political leaders instead of mudslinging, calling each other names and whatever.
While calling on the chief security officer of the nation to bring an end to the nation's insecurity, warned some unpatriotic Nigerian press trying to bring in Charlie Hebdo publication against Prophet of Islam to Nigeria in Sokoto. Jabele Dabo, NTA News.
The massive turnout of supporters of the People's Democratic Party PDP campaigns are said to be a clear indication that victory against the party needs standard bearers. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Olisa Metu, stated this while addressing journalists at the PDP National Secretariat, Abuja. He promised that Nigeria will be better if President Jonathan is re-elected. Saliu Abdullahi has the
People's Democratic Party PDP during its part of the country. The National Publicity Secretary disclosed clear pointers that PDP remains the preferred party among Nigerians.
With all that, we are now more than ever before encouraged that our victory is sure in 2015. The various projects of President Goodluck Jonathan's administration, we are showcasing Almajiri schools with over 150 completed. Out of 14 new universities, 9 of them are in the north. That zone by zone, the PDP will win this presidential election.
Assured that the party will continue with its issue-based campaigns. Nigerians not to see the reduction in the price of petroleum as politically motivated. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Niger State People's Democratic Party governorship campaign has been flagged off in Kwantagora, with party chieftains from the North Central Zone, including the Senate President David Mark and the Federal Capital Territory Minister in attendance. The governorship candidate Umar Mohammed Nasko pledged to pay attention to all sectors of the economy to consolidate on the appreciable progress recorded as an administration of Governor Muaz Babangida Aliyu if given the mandate in the elections. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, General Muhammadu Buhari, has called on eligible voters in the country to vote APC in the next month's general elections. He said this will focus, if elected, his focus, if elected, will be security, healthcare, development of infrastructure, economic growth, and improvement of standard of education, among several others. The presidential candidate said this at a rally in Kaduna. Muhammad Lawal Baba now has the story.
Murtala Muhammad Square, venue of the presidential flag-off rally, has witnessed large turnout of APC supporters who came to give their support. General Muhammad Buhari, along his running mate Professor APC governorship candidate for Kaduna State Nasiru El Rufai, and Speaker In Waziri Tambuwal, and Governor Aliyu Magatakar Dawamoko of Sokoto State, arrived the venue some few minutes to 7 this evening. General Muhammad Buhari, who spoke in Hausa, said his main focus is security, job creation, and rehabilitation of us. The monument of the presidential candidate, Professor Yomi Oshibajo, said APC, when elected,
there will be free education, there will be good health care.
The campaign train is expected in Kano tomorrow. In Kaduna, Muhammad Lawal Baba, NTA News.
The presidential candidate for the African Democratic Congress, ADC, says his focus will be to structure the education sector and bring the desired development in the country. Speaking to correspondent Kenneth Nanim in Abuja, Dr. Mani Ibrahim Ahmad says Nigeria needs people of his caliber.
There is no country that has made any meaningful progress without
We're sorry about that, but Dr. Mani Ahmad called on Nigerians to vote the African Democratic Congress in the presidential to provide paradigm shift needed by Nigerians. The People's Democratic flag of its campaign in Yola, Adamawa State, where it presented its governorship candidate, Alhaji Ahmed Modibo Mohammed. The national chairman of the party, Bashir Yusuf Ibrahim, presided over. Abdullahi Garba Bednankudu monitored the report.
The rally in Yola seeks out to right what he referred as wrongs in the country. He called on the people of Adamawa State and the nation to vote in PDM as it will solve power supply challenges in Nigeria as being promoted in its symbol. The gubernatorial candidate, Ahmed Modibo Mohammed, says he joins the race in the interest of peace and progress of the state. Also at the ceremony, Hajia Aisha Ahmed Binani was presented with a flag as the PDM standard bearer in Adamawa Central Senatorial Zone. She advised the people to vote as a new beginning in the state. While in Yola, the party's national leadership and the candidates paid homage on the Lamid of Adamawa, Alhaji Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa, who preached for peaceful election. Abdullahi Garba Bernokudu, NTA News.
A group known as Coalition of Nigerian Youths for Good Governance says it will go to court to challenge the eligibility of the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress to contest the presidential election if he fails to submit his certificates to INEC as required by the Electoral law. Rally in Abuja to support the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan. Correspondent Kenneth Nane reports.
The coalition says it is very important for all Nigerians to know the academic status of their would-be leaders. They say Nigeria at this point in time needs visionary leaders level of education to help take the nation to the next level of progress.
I'm not saying after this rally we are giving Buhari 1 week to present a certificate or we'll go to court to ask for an order for him to either present a certificate or to be disqualified.
If the law says show your certificate, then show your certificate.
Commending President Jonathan for his remarkable achievements in every facet of the nation's life, the group says the president should be re-elected. It also urged all eligible voters to get their permanent voters' cards in order not to be disenfranchised. NTA News.
Youths of Anambra State under the umbrella of Graduates Internship Scheme of Sure Pity have applauded President Goodluck Jonathan for taking them out of the shackles of poverty through the program. They made this known during the feedback interactive session in Oka, Anambra State. Benson Osadebe has the report.
The head of operations of the Graduate Internship Scheme, Akubo Adegbe, noted that the feedback mechanism is a way of hearing from the beneficiaries of UWIM program and other components of SureP on their prospects, challenges, and sustainability program.
To share with them the current strategy and to hear from them how they think we can better improve this program.
I'm not campaigning, it's good to be honest, because this is the only administration that is very honest with youth empowerment.
I have 11 interns. The principal challenge is that some of the interns are down to earth.
The graduate internship scheme was designed as part of the Subsidy Reinvestment and Employment Program, SURE, for graduates to be placed in viable organizations where they will be mentored and supported to develop their core skills with the aim of earning a better living. From Oka, Benson Osadebe, NTA News.
As a follow-up to violence-free election accord signed by all the presidential candidates, the Buhari Support Organization is training its members on how to conduct themselves for a hitch-free election. Correspondent Abdullahi Garba Bendenkudu reports that a workshop to this effect for the state coordinators of the organization has opened in Abuja.
By the objectives of the Abuja Accord signed by all the 14 presidential candidates, they agreed to reach out to their members for a violence-free election. To build up on these objectives, the Buhari Supports Organization convened the workshop to ensure its members understand the accord and work towards achieving its objective. The Chief of Staff, Ahmed Buhari, who represented the candidate, advised members to conduct themselves peacefully during, before and after the election.
We are currently confronted with major problems resulting from the unbridled languages with our political ecosystem. Supporters from both divide most many counterproductive manner that destabilizes the other group. All this must stop now.
The workshop is expected to be extended to other parts of the country for the entire members. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garib Burununkudu, NTA News.
The All Progressives governorship candidate in Senator Umaru Jibrila Bindo has visited the southern zone of the state and pledged to actualize the needed positive change the people are yearning for. Elected. Correspondent Godia Daniel has the report.
The APC party kick-started their campaign tour in the southern zone of Adamawa State with Tongo local government area as the flag-off point. The campaign train was also in Ganye, Jada, Mayobelwa, Sheleng and Guyuk local government areas where they toured through the nooks and crannies of the communities to canvass for votes. Addressing party supporters in all the areas visited, Senator Bindo and his counterparts, who were overwhelmed with a massive turnout of supporters, said it is an indication that the people of the a change, and this can only be actualized through their votes. Various speakers at all the rallies appealed to Senator Bindo and other APC candidates not to betray the confidence reposed in them if voted. The campaign train were earlier in palaces of emirs and district heads of all the places visited to pay homage and solicit for their royal blessings. In Yola, Daniel, NTA News.
The APC presidential flag bearer, General Muhammadu Buhari, has identified corruption, unemployment and insecurity as the issues that have stunted the development. The presidential is while addressing his supporters in Plateau State. Eric Dooms tells us more.
Party loyalists and supporters trooped to the Rampam Township Stadium in Jos to lend support to the presidential candidate of the APC and other flag bearers under the banner of the party. General Muhammadu Buhari promised to effect positive change in the country if elected into. The APC presidential flag bearer said his government will restructure the agricultural and mining sectors, revamp education and tackle corruption and insecurity. The APC National Chairman, Mr. John Oye Campaign Organization, Governor Rotimi Amechi, APC gubernatorial flag bearer in the state, Mr. Simon Lalong, among several other party chieftains, encouraged the people to cast their votes for the All Progressive Congress. Former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Mrs. Pauline Talen, among other stalwarts were received in fold. The Buhari Support Organization also used to auction some tubers of yam donated to it by the Yam Foundation in the state. In Jos, NTA News.
On the political talk tonight is the presidential candidate of the Citizens Popular Party, CPP, Sam Eke.
Sam Eke, PhD, National Chairman of Citizens Popular Party, and also the presidential candidate of Citizens Popular Party. I am here to present our manifesto and also to appeal to Nigerians to build Citizens Popular Party in the forthcoming general election. Citizens Popular Party is a populist party, a party that its manifesto is anchored on Section 14 of the Nigeria Constitution, that the state of Nigeria has to be run on the principle of democracy and social justice, and at the same time that power belongs to the people. Through only the people you can get a new the authority for them to be able to govern them, and also to make sure that security and welfare of the people top priority of the government. We hereby say that we will ensure that our mission is going to be to move this state from the spirit of democracy that has never been achieved properly. We are still in civil rule to democracy, and at the same time to make sure that is capable of addressing the vast issues that we have. While the party on policy agenda, or referred to as the ideology, we are inclined to left of the center. That is to say that Citizen Popular Party ideology is a populist party that is out to make provision for. How do we attempt to address the issue? We have to make the priority state to make it, to ensure that security is given the top priority on our agenda. Citizens, the welfare of the citizen, we have to give top consideration to institutions and other segments of the society. To this, we have to intervene in the area of agricultural development. We don't have any agricultural product now. We ensure every aspect of our policy, we carry the people along, and we are going to be committed to national interest. Thank you very much.
We have a test of the voting power of women as they express optimism for the that's after this message. From
the jangling discords of into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. While ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. I'm protectors of Nigerian posterity.
You're too low for this call.
Never get stranded with MTN Extra Time. You can now borrow airtime and pay next recharge. Dial *606# now to enjoy the new MTN Time.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Nigerians, the general elections are on Saturday, 14 February 2015. INEC will conduct the presidential and National Assembly election. Also, on the 28th of February 2015, the governorship and state assembly election will take place in all parts of the country. It's your right to vote. Come out and visit the polling units on election day. Vote for the candidates of your choice. Elective positions. Your votes will count. Cooperate with INEC to conduct free and fair elections. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
My father has always taught me the importance He says with Shell's help, he has been given the chance he needs. And that gives me the chance I need.
Shell supports local entrepreneurs, helping them to thrive and expand. Shell, let's go.
One nation under God. A strong force you cannot separate. It's the time to make it right. I am proudly Nigerian. Good Lord Jonathan. We are proudly Nigerian, and we proudly take a stand. Let me hear you sing. Stand for equality. Stand for unity. You got my vote, Jonathan. You got our vote, Jonathan. Mother and father and brother and sister too. Hey, good luck, Jonathan. Oh, yeah.
A message from House to House supports.
Gives me 5 days of BBM, WhatsApp and Facebook. Wait, so is that true? What about Twitter? Facebook? What if it finishes when I'm using it? Why can't I just know how long my data will last?
Get data that lasts as long as you need with Smart Packs from Etisalat. Buy data in packs of your favorite apps and choose from the chat to stay connected all day or all week. Dial *200# to try it now. Enjoy streaming all your favorite live matches all day with the video pack.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, no president, no leader before you has been so good to farmers. You are the farmers' president. You've ended 40 years of fertilizer corruption. You've restored dignity to rural farmers across Nigeria. For the first time, millions of women farmers have direct access to fertilizer. You've transformed dry season farming, providing millions of farmers with high-yielding seeds free of charge. Today, hundreds of thousands of youth recognize that agriculture is Nigeria's new black gold. After 4 years, millions of Nigerian farmers are saying, thank you, President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you for transforming our lives, for defending our interests. Thank you for giving our children a hope and a future. Join us for Agri 15, a celebration of culture at the Eagle Square, Abuja on Friday, January 23rd, time 8 a.m. prompt. We'll see you there.
After a dry night in Pampers, babies can achieve so many things. Introducing new and improved Pampers for a dry and comfortable night of sleep, thanks to our new and super gel that absorb and locks in wetness better than other diapers. So your baby starts the day dry, making every morning one to be proud of. Dry. Dryness guaranteed or your money back.
Thank you for being there. From political campaigns, we now look at the voting processes. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Tahiru Jega, has advised Nigerians to pay greater attention to the laws and jurisprudence that will finally determine the fate of the nation's elections if they have to go to court. He stated this at the opening of an conference on electoral jurisprudence in Africa. Femi Okewo reports.
705 electoral matters went before the election tribunals after the 2011 general elections. While observers of the Nigerian democratic trend are not happy about the overbearing influence of courts on the ballot boxes, the court is the final stage of electoral processes that are in contention. This is why INEC, through its Electoral Institute, is looking ahead to this stage and calling for a thorough examination of this process.
Increase the integrity of the election, we do certain things which we observe to be best practices. And if we find something that is a good practice in another country and which we are changing certain aspects of our own law, then we will advocate it.
The workshop is using the audience to assess Africa's electoral jurisprudence, and in attendance are officials from about 7 African countries.
For instance, in upholding the validity of the 2012 presidential election in Kenya, the Supreme Court of Kenya relied heavily on the decision of the Nigerian Court on the 2000 2011 presidential election.
In this light, contributions are drawn from the experiences of senior lawyers in Nigeria. While there is greater interest in the process leading up to the election, the Electoral Institute knows that the post-election period is just as important in determining the sanctity of the election, which is why the jurisprudence of our election petitions is being looked at. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
From the issues of jurisprudence to the voting power of women, female participants at the just concluded conference on Nigeria's general elections, scheduled for February, have expressed confidence in the build-up to the exercise. Correspondent Anthony Folson reports.
The conference, put together by the Savannah Center for Diplomacy, Democracy and Development under the chairmanship of Professor Ibrahim Gambari, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, took a cursory look at the roles expected of INEC, the media, civil society, and security agencies. In the end, they concluded that the exercise should not be seen as that of INEC alone, but all Nigerians.
General call for an end to sensational reporting, especially as it has to do with the election, especially if it has to do with our national security and cohesion.
It's the responsibility of all of us citizens to be conscious. Not only that, to endeavor to contribute our best in ensuring a free, fair and peaceful election.
It just shows that these elections do not concern Nigeria alone. This is not just about Nigeria. You know, all of us in Africa are looking to Nigeria to stand up and show the world who Nigeria really is.
In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Nigerian intercessors without wars have urged people to shun violence and pray for peace. Correspondent Obiageli Uwoke reports that the intercessors also urge Nigerians to ensure that the country remains an indivisible entity. The report.
Drawing from the share of some Nigerians, the 2015 general elections will be more contentious than usual. The Intercessors Without Walls Prayer Conference is set to embark on a 3-day intercessory prayer for the peaceful elections in Nigeria.
There could be no better time for the intercessory community in the nation to unite, to seek God for his peace and for the continuous development of this nation.
We can partner together in ensuring peace in our nation, particularly at a very critical time.
For Wednesday, January 21st to Friday 23rd will attract all prayer organizations in Nigeria with the aim of invoking the God of peace in Nigeria and forge stronger synergy towards becoming a virile body that will address the critical national issues in the place of prayer. They advise Nigerians to contribute their quota towards peace building. Obiageli, NTA News.
As we update you on the permanent voters cast by Nigeria continues to generate interest. Chinedu Obike has that report.
As usual, the streets are busy and the people seem occupied. These ones, however, their main preoccupation is how to obtain the permanent voters cards, which the Independent National Electoral Commission is putting in the February elections.
I came here now, there's nothing done. They are very slow, and people would like to go back to my work.
It's very easy. As long as you have the card with you, they have the temporary card, they will be easy to locate the original one for you.
I just came here and had to pick a number. Then within a few minutes, roughly 20-30 minutes, I got my card.
Only the problem we have at times is some of them come without their voter's card. So it takes us longer time to get their card. And some of them, they will tell you they have forgotten their surnames. So that is where the problem comes in. But once you come with your card, it takes us just 2 minutes, get your name and give you back your card.
Reacting to reports from the field, the resident electoral commissioner for the Federal Capital Territory, Professor Jacob Jato, says the commission provides quick responses to public complaints and is determined to ensure the success of the elections.
The time of the collections has been put at 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So I want to urge the people to make sure that they go to the wards where they registered, that they will be able to get their cards.
Many people indeed turned out for the permanent voter card collection today, and indications show that the process is getting better and easier by the day. Abuja, Chinedu Obike, NTA News.
And in Oka, the Anambra State capital, the heads of security agencies in Anambra State have stepped up their level of preparedness towards achieve free, fair and credible elections. Benson Osadebe reports.
In their different submissions, they noted that the issue of maintaining law and order before, during and after the elections cannot be overemphasized.
My service is determined to ensure that the election is peaceful and transparent.
Sure. The protection of lives and properties.
The stakeholders charge the youths not to allow used as the long arm of the law will catch up with anybody that tries to jeopardize the elections.
If any politician approaches you, please go and disrupt and kill this person. Go and be a talk for me. Tell the person, please, I will not be a talk.
The heads of security agencies in Anambra State say they are to combat electoral violence. If
Young Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, is to introduce Youth Pilgrims NCPC, Nicholas Oko made this known while report of the 2014 pilgrimage to Israel, Rome and Greece to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ayim Payosayim in Abuja. Correspondent Chimedema NDBC reports.
After rounding off its 2014 pilgrimage year with a retreat and Thanksgiving service, the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission NCPC delegate was at the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to submit the 2014 pilgrimage report.
We also were able to reconnect with the European Union authorities for the issuance of Schengen visa. We still have challenges. Difficulty of insecurity. So we were not able to achieve direct flight.
We're also going to have all the money to pay, can actually get tickets in form of rifle and be able to be able to sponsor people on holy pilgrimage.
Lending its support for the lottery program, the SGF commended the Commission for successfully airlifting pilgrims from 23 states of the country and the FCAT.
We no longer talk about abscondment because it's no longer there. I am astonished that the BASA has not been activated. I want to promise that I will work with the Executive Secretary to get something done.
The chairman of the commission also prayed for the president and peace and unity of the country as the general election draws near. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Nigerian Railways adds more coaches for better services. This and more from our Lagos Network Center with Demola. Hello, Demola.
Hello, Mohammed. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, has met with major oil marketers in Lagos to discuss the grey areas in the implementation of the new pump price of petrol. Our correspondent who covered the meeting also visited some filling stations within Lagos metropolis to check the level of compliance with the new price. Tunde Saiki report is presented from our studios. The crucial meeting was at the instance of the Minister of Petroleum Resources with a view to ensuring compliance with the new price regime.
After the announcement, we realized that there was a lot of misunderstanding from the point of view of the oil marketing companies. And I thought it would have been a very good idea, and the Honourable Minister of Petroleum Resources come and meet with all the chief executive officers of the oil marketing companies to sit down and discuss the issue with a view to ensuring that there will be continuous flow of petroleum products in the petrol stations to avoid any hiccup in supply.
Stakeholders in the industry raised fundamental issues bordering them.
We have concerns with outstanding subsidy payments, when we are going to get them. We have concerns with interest payment. We have concerns with foreign exchange. And all this, we need somebody to assure us when we will get the payment.
Situation reports in Lagos indicates that many filling stations are yet to readjust their pump price on the excuse that their engineers are yet to adjust their meters. Motorists have in the meantime continued to hail the development.
It's a good one. A lot of us has wished that this had come a long time before now, but it's better come than not at all.
okay, economical and quite better. We feel good about it.
The Department of Petroleum Resources, while urging for compliance, spoke on sanctions.
First of all, we are going to close it down. Secondly, we are going to ensure that it doesn't get product for the next 90 days. And then on top of that, we will prescribe a penalty. So we think that with this in place, our stations should comply with the new price regime.
Hopes are that filling stations will soon adjust to new realities. The federal government has taken delivery of 5 68-seater air-conditioned passenger coaches, 2 16-seater rail buses, and 18-seater motorized trolleys to boost rail transportation in the country. Bolaji Hakim completes the story.
The revitalization of the rail transport system has been one of the President Goodluck Jonathan area of focus. Various steps have been taken to bring the rail transportation system in Nigeria to the standard in the developed countries. The additional coaches and other facilities which were handed over to the corporation brings such hope.
Those of you that are familiar with the system knows that these rail buses are what we use for inspection of certain sections.
The 18 5-seater motorized trolleys will replace pump trolleys for engineers to carry out regular inspection of rail tracks.
You can now catch some of your materials, like the slippers and your tools and all that. It's for quick intervention any time we have issues. And even the what we call wet season patrol, that is in the rainy season. You know, once there's heavy rain, the track may be affected.
The coaches, which are equipped with modern facilities, include CCTV camera, have been confirmed of high standard and will be moved to Makurdi railway station for presidential commissioning. In Lagos, Bolaji Hakim, NTA News.
The managing director of the Bank of Industry, Rashid Olaoluwa, has stated that the bank's commitment to reviving Nigeria's industrial sector through the provision of investable funds. He stated this at the launch of Secure ID plant in Lagos. Amechi Pius has the details.
The plant is the first EMV certified smart card manufacturing company in the country. It has an annual production capacity of 200 million cards, producing SIM cards, payment cards, and highly secured polycarbonate ID cards. Mr. Rashid Olaoluwa's remark at the official launch focused on government's Industrial Revolution plan. He described the plant as a success story of government's financial intervention to help businesses grow.
Now, as a lending institution, I also feel we derive a sense of fulfillment that project finance facility is utilized and we can see the outcome.
The BOI chief executive, while commending the efficient management of the long-term fund provided to the company by the bank, assured Nigerians of government's resolve to stimulate growth in the nation's industrial sector. Minister of Communications Technology, Dr. Mobola Johnson, who represented President Goodluck Jonathan, disclosed that a lot has been done by government to address the various challenges faced by local manufacturers.
And the capacity of this factory, as with many other factories in Nigeria, is really capacity utilization is based on patronage. And this is where myself, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, are really pushing a local content policy in all sectors.
High point of the event was a facility tour by guests at the plant. In Lagos, Amechi Pius, NTA News.
Your call credit is low.
No, they finish with 50% bonus on all recharge monthly, 100% instant bonus daily, and 200% bonus every weekend to call all networks. You never have to worry about your airtime on the Etisalat network. Talk longer when you recharge today.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
deliver an exceptional customer experience, the Nigerian Ports Authority has introduced the easy-to-use electronic ship entry notification application, also known as the eSAN. So next time you want to use our online application, it is faster, easier, and more efficient. For further inquiries, visit our website www.nigerianports.org. Nigerian Ports Authority, the gateway to the nation's economy.
You can be original. You can be cool. Trendy. You can be bold.
Be original. Ask for your favorite drink in a can. Cans are more convenient, 100% environmentally friendly, and ultraviolet protected.
Shop on the go. Download the Konga mobile app today and get 2,000 Naira cashback on your first purchase. Available on Android and iOS.
Leah Katumba today has the business news.
As the Central Bank of Nigeria begins its two-day monetary policy committee meeting, experts have expressed optimism that the Apex Bank is likely to keep the benchmark interest rates at current levels. Economic analyst Dr. Iboko said this is largely absorbed the effects of the monetary measures that were decided at the last MPC meeting.
If NPR has to go up, it's not good for the economy. It will make for inflation. It will make for all the bad things that we don't want.
He believes, however, the central bank is expected to continue to aggressively use its administrative tools to support price stability through the use of the open market operations OMO window to manage the volume of liquidity in the system, as well as to continue to intervene in the forex market to calm the strong volatility observed since last month.
It's possible that because of the dwindling oil prices, where our foreign reserve is coming down, and there is pressure for NPR and even interest generally to go up. But I think in the meantime, it is best that we keep it at what it is.
The MPC meeting will round up tomorrow. And before we go, let's take a graphic detail of activities from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That rounds up business news this hour. The bulletin will continue in a moment.
Now go very straight to news from the Nigerian government has protested the execution of two Nigerian nationals by the Indonesian Department Secretary, Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Jumasheni, announced Nigeria's protest when he summoned the Indonesian ambassador to Nigeria for explanation. Correspondent Gabriel Adu reports. We're not taking that report. We'll take you for sports update now with Kene Emadwinike.
Monday in Abuja inaugurated an interim executive.